You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Welcome back. We are so happy to have you with us. Good day, good evening. You are watching Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. Lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. I am your show host, executive producer, director, and broadcast engineer. And I'm just crazy about this show because I have hand-selected a team of people who are experts in their field, and every single one of these programs, we have 5 a week. I am busily writing things down because I'm learning something personally and professionally every time. So just to set the stage, this is not an interview program. This is a presentation platform. And joining me today is one of our experts, Mr. Hiett Ives. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
It's good to see you again. And by the way, Hiett, this is episode 59 of A Better You. And I am so excited because you are taking us in a direction that we sorely need to go in from a perspective of Dr. Jacalyn LLC putting together an incredible event, Journey to a Better You. But people all over the world are starting to get out. I know not everywhere, but wanting to get out, I should say, and starting to think about planning events, and you have expertise when it comes to event strategies. So I'm going to spotlight you and just share with us a little bit about your background. And then if you have your book there that you can maybe hold up and, and let us know what you're going to be talking about today. Here you go.
Well, in fact, I'm going to be talking about successful event strategies. The world works much better on eyeball to eyeball, person to person. And while we've adjusted to the Zoom world, we're all ready to get back to eyeball, person to person. And that's going to happen relatively soon. So in anticipation of that, so that you can plan for that, both time-wise and dollar-wise, I'm going to present a deal on trade shows and events are on their way back.
Yay. I love to hear that.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I think I shared with you that I worked in the meetings and events space for a lot of my career, and we would design programs for huge organizations, and then I'd get to go travel around the world with my clients and make sure that they were happy with what they were doing, make sure the staff was happy. And it is such a necessary part of life to bring people together. We love this, but we also need to get together in person.
And I've done it from both sides of the ledger, but I started on the corporate side where I was the exhibitor. I was the trade show manager for an international oil equipment manufacturer, and I did on a yearly basis, up to 4 or 5 shows a year in 12 different countries on 5 different continents. I've flown around the world 3 times doing trade shows.
Well, we are glad that you are here on stage today to help educate us. And I'm going to spotlight you, put up your deck. Do you want the timer? You don't need it, right?
Well, go ahead and put it on there. Yeah, please. Okay.
All right. All right. So I'm going to bring up your deck. I'm going to hit the road. I'm going to put your timer. Let me get the timer ready. All right. Here we go.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, as I just mentioned, we have a situation where we've been doing Zooms for over a year, and it's time to get back into one-on-one. So we're going to talk about trade shows and events and the fact that they are on their way back. And let's see if I can get this thing to move forward. There we go. We'll start with a couple of quick questions. How important is staying visible to your clients? How important is it to stay visible your clients and prospects? I'm guessing you're going to say it's very important and you're looking forward to being able to do that again real soon. Second question is, how important is it to stay abreast of current trends and innovations in your industry? Again, one of the best ways to do that is at shows and events. So, best way to do that is for you as a company to participate as an event program presenter or an event program or service exhibitor, or both. Because most associations and industry organizations will have either event programs where there are seminars, there are educational programs. Others will have exhibitors, a trade show with just exhibits, and in many cases they'll have both. So most major industry associations are gearing up to get back into the in-person event business. And this is something that is done over a time period. You need usually at least 18 months to successfully gear up for and prepare for and hold a major seminar or trade show or event. So let's start from the beginning. You're going to be one or both of these of the following. You're going to be at a seminar or trade shows and a combination event. So you have the opportunity to participate in one or the other of these formats of eyeball to eyeball, person to person situations. I've got to remember that. I've got my little cursor there. I've got to get that off the screen. All right, on the seminar exhibit side of the ledger, what you want to do is stake yourself, your company, your organization as a subject matter expert. Rate the presentations. If it's going to be a series of seminars within a particular industry vertical, if you've got a product or service that is a leader, then you want to become the subject matter expert and hold yourself out as that. And one of the ways you can do that is by getting involved with the sponsoring organization's program determination and assignment committee. Again, that's where that 18 to 24 months comes in. The association decides what they're going to cover and then who they're going to ask to participate in it, and then go after them. So that's where you on the front end can be part of that organization program determination and assignment committee for the event organizer. Become a contributor to, recruiter for, and participate in as many verticals as possible, because many associations have multiple verticals, and if you have a product or service that is applicable to more than one vertical, then by all means become an active participant and presenter in as many verticals as you can. You now on the so that's on the seminar side. Looking at the trade show side, one of the things you want to do is, as an exhibitor at any event, you want to secure as large a booth as you want to be perceived by your clients or prospects. And that sounds a little convoluted. Secure as large a booth as you want to be perceived as by your clients and prospects. Why do I say that? Well, a couple of interesting tips. A 10 by 10 end cap booth, whether it's in a hotel ballroom or a trade show hall, that 10 by 10 end cap appears to be 40% larger than its 10 by 10 inline counterparts. Likewise, a 10 by 20 booth, whether it's inline or end cap, is 4 times as memorable as a 10 by 10. So, that end cap booth may cost 10% more than the inline, but you appear to be 40% larger. That 10 by 20, yeah, it costs twice as much for the space, but the accoutrements and the other services don't cost twice as much. So for maybe 2.5 or 2.25 the cost of a 10 by 10, you're going to get a 10 by 20 and be 4 times as rememberable. So those are a couple of elements. And then once you've got that space, whether it's a 10 by 10, 10 by 10 end cap, or a 10 by 20, you want to exhibit no more than 3 of your products or services. Now, why do you say that? Well, it falls in line with your 80-20 rule. As you know, 80% of your income, your company's income, your personal income as a consultant, 80% of your income comes from 20% of your client base. Now, if you've got 10 clients, chances are 80% of the income you're earning out of those 10 clients comes from 3 of them. So you want to, as you exhibit your products and services, you want to pick out the 3 that are your 80-20 to exhibit. Also, where possible, you want to collaborate with other exhibitors. If you've got a product or service that, especially a product that is used by a lot of other people, or a lot of other people contribute to. I was with a major oil equipment manufacturer, and we made very big valves and blowout preventers and all sorts of things that smaller subcontractors provided parts there too. Well, at the world's largest oil show, I had up to 10 other exhibitors with my equipment in their booth because they were subcontractors to me, and they wanted to show that their product or their piece of equipment was good enough and was trusted by a large company. So, work with them and cross-fertilize their product or service. Say, hey, go to the following booths to see how they help us have the best product available. Collateral material, and this is a thing both if you are a presenter or an exhibitor. You want to make your literature show specific and audience specific. What do I mean by that? Well, you're going to, using that 80-20 principle again, of your 10 products that you have available in the marketplace, 2 or 3 of them are going to be applicable for the show you're at. So rather than work strict only with your general catalog or your general all-encompassing piece of literature, get a simple 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and it can be glossed or it can be full color. It can be as nice as you want, but on that 8.5 by 11, one side, front and back, at the most an 11 by 17, 2 8.5 by 11s folded over. You want to have the show-specific, audience-specific products or services that you are representing at that show. It's going to make your sales effort faster, easier, and it's also going to allow the audience to focus on what you're there for. And if you want to go the extra mile, when funds are available and the audience is appropriate, then consider event sponsorships within the event. Some of the subsections, some of the I'll tell a quick story. A client was at a show. He wanted to sell his product to a particular driller who happened to be a presenter, and you could sponsor them. So I said, sponsor him for $250, and we got our name next to his, and then we got the president of that drilling company in our booth. Well, they explained what they had and why they wanted to sell it to him, and he said, I don't need you. He was drilling in a state that one of the few states that did not require the downhole product that they had to be a part of their operation, which is one of the reasons why they could do things a lot less expensive than others. So for the cost of a $250 sponsorship, and a 15-minute presentation, they learn that, hey, that's the wrong tree to go up, wrong tree to bark up. All right. I am not a fan of giveaways. That's a whole nother area. But if you absolutely have to have a giveaway, make it product or service related. Make it directly related to what you do or what you sell. So, exhibitor, as an exhibitor, as a pre-show preparation, make sure that your booth is telling your story. That's a whole another vertical, but you'd be surprised how many people's booths don't tell their story. And then avail yourself of all the discounts. Do things early. It's a whole lot less expensive. As an exhibitor, when you're at the show as an exhibitor, be sure you have an appropriate open-ended question. Again, that's a whole other vertical that literally guarantees you qualified leads, but we'll get into that at a future event. And excuse me. And make sure you have a CRM program specific to that show. And after the show, post-show, have an established follow-up program and monitor that follow-up procedure. All right, so a quick review of upcoming events. All of the upcoming events are going to be either a seminar and or exhibits. They're going to have educational sessions or they're going to have trade show booths. And they are going to be industry and product or service focused. So you want to identify the ones that are applicable to you, where the audience are people that are prospects for you, and then put together a story specifically for them and qualify them through the right open-ended questions, and you're going to have a tremendous opportunity. What Dr. Jacalyn was talking about earlier was our A Better You event in October of 2022 in Orlando, Florida, 3-day educational exhibit event. We're seeking charter presenters and exhibitors for this. You'll be getting information on this quickly. And for more information about it, you can get a hold of Dr. Jacalyn. There's her contact information. And then relative to yours truly, I've got a whole lot more stuff in specific categories and specific industry applications. You can find out about my writing stuff. That's one book, one of my books. The other one, of course, is the 88 Successful Event Strategies. You can get them both at Amazon. Or you can also join my That Ain't Not Right Use and Abuse of the English Language opt-in email program. Go to hiettives.com and you can sign up for that. And for any follow-up with me, there I am, Hiett at hiettives.com, and my phone number, and I'm down 3, 2, 1. Doctor, it's all yours.
I love the timing. Lots of really good tips, things that I didn't know. And I think that was a very valuable lesson for a lot of people. In fact, I think we might have you come back and give the lesson again as we get closer to what you talked about, budgeting time frame. So maybe before the August, September, that's pretty much when people are starting to budget, right?
Let me give you another industry norm. If you want to figure out how much a trade show is going to cost you, take the space cost and triple it. So if they're charging you $500 for a booth space in a hotel ballroom, budget $1,500 minimum to make that whole thing happen. If they're charging you $10,000 for an exhibit hall booth, budget $30,000. This is a ballpark figure. You could usually come lower, but if you're planning a budget for trade show participation that you've never done before, triple the cost of the space of each show, add that all together, and that can be your starting point, high point for your budget.
Thank you, Hiett. That's great information. Brilliant. I'm really glad that you did this topic today, as well as the other ones. Everything you present is always very worthwhile. And we will be calling upon you on our team to lead us through this planning of this event once we get our RFP information back. So hopefully that'll be very soon.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to, yes, I look forward to working with you as well. I'm going to say adios for right now, as we have another show coming right up. But if you would just give your contact information once again.
Hiett at hiettives.com. That's Hiett, family spelling. Hiett at hiettives.com. Phone number 832-372-6900. That's 832-372-6900. Very
nice. That's a great number, by the way. Easy to remember.
I got that when they had just introduced the 832 area code in Houston when I got my first cell phone. And the store that I went to dug a little deep, and they got me that 6900 ending. It was not the next in line, trust me, but they went and got that for me. So I've had that.
Somebody helps you. Yeah, that's nice. I worked for AT&T for 10 years, and part of my time there were getting people 800 numbers, and people would say, do you have this really cool 800 number to go with my business? Boy, things have really evolved since then, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you, my friends. Please tell your wife I said hello, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I hope that if you missed any part of this, you're going to head over to YouTube, because this is information that you can use as a business leader, business owner. This is valuable for you to have for now and going forward, because having events is really so important. Bringing people together and then having that trade show really helps differentiate what it is you're doing. So please head over to Dr. Jacalyn LLC on YouTube if you missed any part of it, and certainly to watch it again and again and again. I am going to say goodbye for now, and we'll be back in, I think, 10 minutes with Pet Psychic Amina and our guest, Reverend Dottie Boone. Thank you again for being here. We will see you shortly.